Hi there, Mark Simon here again to help you through some of the great things here in Storyboard Pro. I want to step you through some information on how to pitch and present with this software, and it just keeps getting better and better every time I play with this. Now, I want to tell you that what you're seeing here is a frame from a movie that I was just working on called The Day the Music Died. Now, this is a true life story about the Big Bopper, one of the musicians that died in the Buddy Holly plane crash. Now, the director, Saurabh Mirmontazeri, and I were working on this. He really loved how simple this was to work with. I was working on a Cintiq exactly like this, and he would sit over my shoulder as we were working on all the boards. What made this really great is that the animatics were so fast to do. Here, if I click on the timeline, as I was storyboarding, I was actually building an animatic in real time as I was going. And in here, and I can scrub this, you can actually hear the music as you're going. And I was able to literally, it's almost like animating straight to the music in real time. So we could get a really great feel for how the whole thing would go, and I could play back portions of it for him. So we were having a great time with all this. Now, from this, he was able to take an MOV file that I would export directly out of the software. To get the producer's approval, he actually just loaded this straight onto YouTube from my studio. So she was in another part of the country, was able to look at it and give us approvals and notes and whatever. And then they took the same animatic, the finished animatic, to a big party where they had a lot of investors coming in. And they were using the animatic that we produced in virtually in real time as we were working on the storyboards to land more financing. How's that sound to those of you who are creating your own productions? It worked incredibly well. Another thing you're going to want to know is a lot of you may be familiar with doing a storyboard pitch within a studio. Whether you've got clients there that you're pitching to and you're used to getting up and you've got a large wall of very tiny storyboards that you'll be acting out with. Well, now you can do this digitally, whether it's on a Cintiq. I'm actually setting up on a new production I'm working on now where it's going to be projected on a wall. Set up however you want. These monitors are pretty big. This works no matter, pretty much for any size group that you're going to be pitching to. And this is a lot bigger than any printed storyboard panel would be. So this will work better for a lot of people. They've got an option on here now, which is the presentation. And I can flip through either with sitting here myself, clicking on next shot, next shot, next shot, and act this thing out. Or I can have a wireless remote. If I want this projected somewhere, I can stand there, and every time I hit the button, this will either jump to the next storyboard panel or the next shot. And I can act this out literally as we're going. I can't tell you how much more simple this is, and I find it so much easier because it's bigger and people can see it. You get more people in the room. They don't need to be hovering right over your shoulder. My favorite part of this, for notes. Check this out. Let's say the director looks at this, or the producer's giving you some notes. You grab your little pen stylus over here, and they say, you know, this character really should be more over here. All right, so move this character. They can draw whatever they want on. They're not affecting your artwork at all. What this does is this puts on a new layer over your drawings. Let's go back to it, and I'll show you. It comes up here, automatically calls it comments. Now I can turn off that layer at any time. As you can see, it doesn't affect my drawing in the least. So now, as you're going, make whatever notes you want during your pitch. You don't have to try to remember it. You don't have to try to do anything. It's all right there for you. They can even write in comments. So you can also open up this sidebar over here and type in comments. Help me, I'm just an artist. All right? So now that will also show up when I close this box. The comments box opens up within the storyboard as well. So not only can you see the visuals, if they want to write in stuff, there's even an audio. You can actually record notes on there that they can listen, that you or any other artist can listen to later as well. So whether I'm drawing up quick things I want other artists to finish, or from a presentation, there's notes, other artists and other people in the production giving you ideas, it is so simple and easy as you're going. This is the kind of stuff we're all seeing on the Pixar DVDs that they're spending tons of money to figure out. We all have this accessible now to us with Storyboard Pro. You gotta get this. Now, a lot of you are probably animators, and like most animators, you're creative, you're always coming up with your own ideas. In fact, you probably think your ideas are better than what the networks have right now. Well, you're probably right. But as you also know, it's really time-consuming and expensive to produce a full animation to pitch your idea. Well, you can just do storyboarding, and that works fine. And a lot of shows are pitched just with boards. But what I've been finding is I go to all the TV conferences every year, and I'm always pitching my own shows too. So I'm right there with you. What I found in the last couple of conferences I've been to, they're actually looking for animatics, because that helps give them a better feel for the character and the flow and really how the show will work. This software will make that so much faster for you to be able to do it. There's no reason for you to spend 1.5 years of your life just to get ready for a pitch with a full animation when you can do it almost as quickly as you can do storyboarding. There's a sample here I also wanted to show you. This is for a website, and it's a program, it's a social network for the Moomer generation. And Moomer stands for making mountains out of molehills. Well, there's a whole, because it's a pretty intense site, there's a lot of things you can do there. So we produced an animation with this Marty the Mole character here that introduces you to what you can do on the website. Well, as we were first storyboarding this out, the web company, the web design company who's putting the social network together needed to understand our process and how we were doing it and what this whole thing would look like. So not only were we using the animatic for our own work on as we were figuring out how the animation was going to work, we used this to present to all the other members of the team that were putting this whole website together. So once again, as we were going, we did a scratch track audio, just a real quick audio that we recorded ourselves of Marty talking, and we would just edit the pieces together according to the timeline, and everyone understood so quickly how this whole thing was going to work and what it was going to look like. And we were even able to do on there pieces moving in and out of frame, and the character moving around. It just made it so easy to make our presentation. So no matter how you're used to pitching or what kind of production that you want to present, everything you need is right here in this one software. And I've actually found that this is making my job faster and easier, and I think it will for you too. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.